Hello, good night. This is your brother John Love in Christ Jesus. So we have to stand at the door of our hearts, So we have to stand at the door of our hearts. We cannot allow our hearts to be loose, to be free. And what I mean by that, because we know that in the Word of God, as I was reading in Proverbs, and God stated in Proverbs stated that to keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. So, as I was saying, you cannot allow your heart to be freely loose. You cannot respond to what you're feeling, and at that moment, whatever it is that you know that, hey, if I act on this emotion, act on this feeling, that's not pleasing in the eyes of God. That is not pleasing in the eyes of God. That this can cause problems. This can, bring some issues into my life if I'm not, guarding my heart, if I'm not putting the effort, putting the work to, address what is going on in my heart, what is going on in my emotions, because we have to understand that, yes, we are living in a world that is corrupt. And why? Because man wants to do what they want to do, and man, because of the sin of the sin, the land is being affected by man's sin, by man's decisions. So, as followers of Jesus Christ, as men of God, we have to understand, men of God, women of God, we have to understand that it is our job to guard our hearts. It is our job to stand at the door of our heart. Yes, we cannot allow what is going on in our heart at that moment, and what God is showing you that's going on in your heart, in your emotions, because if you allow your heart to make you make decisions that God's not pleased with, that will cause problems. That's going to cause chaos. That's going to bring issues in your life, and you allow your heart to be at a place where it becomes hardened, it becomes bitter, because you are not diligent. You're not diligent in guarding and putting the effort, and you know knowing that, hey, this is what you're feeling, knowing that this is what that's going on in your emotion. This is how this is making you feel. Yeah, this is how this is making you feel. You cannot respond off what you're feeling in your heart, in your emotions, because if it's not of the Lord, if you respond in a way in your flesh, yes, as I was saying, it's gonna make it's gonna cause problems in your life. It's gonna cause problems because who knows the heart? God knows the heart, and I know the Word of God said the heart is desperately wicked. Who shall know it? Who shall know it? It is desperately wicked. Who knows what's in our heart? We can see the surface. We can see the things that we know that, hey, I have problems and I have areas that I deal with this. This get me sometimes angry. This get me frustrated. This right here, I feel, this way towards this problem here. Yeah, there's moments and times that there's surface areas that you do see, and there's areas that you don't see. There's things that you don't even know that, hey, you can respond in this. You may be an individual saying, I will never, murder my brother. I will never murder my brother. And because you know as God made it clear, like if you know, hate your brother, that you say you love God, but you hate your brother, or you have hatred in your heart. You have to understand that hatred, God look at it as you are a murderer. That's how God look at you. You are a murderer. You may say not. You may say no. I will never murder anybody. I will never take anybody's life. That's not me. That is not me. But God is saying that you just don't know what's in your heart. You just don't know what's in your heart. And God is telling you, hey, address that matter what I'm showing you. Address that matter what I'm showing you. I'm showing this about you. Yes, there's a level of hate that you have towards this individual, and I'm showing that about you. And God shows you that in a dream. God shows you that in a vision. God shows you that, and may have in the you may interact with the individual, and you have this you have this feeling in you that, hey, I don't like you. So God shows you, it shows you those things, and it's your job. It's your job to stand at the door of your heart, to address those matters, to address, put in effort to address what is going on in your heart. You cannot brush it off. You cannot ignore that. And you cannot be a person that say, "Oh, I'll never do that. I will never do that." Like, I remember an incident that happened to me, and God showed me something in my heart in a dream, and I was choking. There was an individual that I knew. Um, I don't know where he's at now, but there was an individual that I knew, and um, there was he did something that I didn't like. He did something that I didn't like, and I know that my emotions was how my emotion responding to that. It wasn't godly. It wasn't godly. So um, I did not respond. I did not respond. I did not act on what I was feeling inside, but I didn't take it. I didn't take it serious. I didn't take it. I took it. I took it like took it lightly. So I didn't take it serious. So I allow this issue to just, hey, go on. I allow this issue to go on, and saying to myself, no, I love this individual. I know as a godly man, I know as a follower of Jesus Christ, as a son, that I need to love. I need to walk in love. That is my job, to walk in love. I cannot harbor hate. I cannot harbor bitter. I cannot harbor unforgiveness. So it's my job to love this individual. But God had to show me, no, you still have, hatred in your heart towards that person. You still have, you know, you still have this in your heart. And, you know, I didn't see that. I didn't, see that, and I was ignoring that, and the Lord was showing me in dreams how I was choking this individual, um, fighting this individual, and doing things that, hey, that someone that, hey, murder people, someone that have, hey, that can murder somebody, like the Lord was showing me. Yeah, you gonna kill your brother. You want to kill your brother. You want to murder that person. You really want to kill this person. Yes, you got that in your heart. You got that in your heart, John. And I'm like, no, I would never kill anybody. I'll never take nobody's life. That's not me. You don't know what's in your heart. You don't know what's in your heart, John. I'm telling you to address that spirit. I'm telling you to address this issue that's in your heart. You don't know what's in your heart. I'm telling you to stand at the door of your heart when you are feeling something, when you are, something that's not right, that is not from the Lord, that's not from me. Yes, it's your job, John, to address that matter. If you allow this to sit, if you allow this to stay there, it's gonna you gonna it's that's gonna be you. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. If that person push you to a place, you're gonna do some things and you're gonna be like, whoa, I would never thought this was in my heart. I would never thought I would do something like this. No, this is not what a man of God should be doing. And no, we should not act this way. And you will be shocked and that, hey, yeah. So we have to understand that we have this thing at the door of our heart. We have to, hey, be vigilant, be watchful, be careful, and what we allow in and what we are, what God is showing us, and bring it to the surface of our heart. What God is showing us in our heart, yes, we have to address those things. We have to bring those things so God can remove and sanctify our hearts, and so we can be more like Him. Yes, well, we can be more like Him because He wants to make us pure. Because only the pure heart will see the Lord. Only the pure heart will see the Lord. Those that is pure in hearted. How can we be pure in hearted? How can we stay? How can we keep a pure heart when we're constantly addressing the things in our hearts? When we're constantly at the door of our hearts, when we're constantly addressing those matters, addressing those issues, addressing those problems, and how we're feeling. How do that make you feel? How do that make you feel? How you want to respond? You want to respond in the flesh. Oh, okay. They're provoking you. They're provoking you, and you want to you embarrassed now. Okay, you're embarrassed now. Okay, how are you gonna act on that? What you gonna do now? Yeah, they provoke you to sin. They provoke you to do this. Yeah, yes, in your heart. Yes, in your heart. You want to try to defend yourself. Yes, in your heart. You want to try to um, say things, talk back. It's in your heart to do that. It's in your heart to do that. But you have to understand that. You have to understand. You have to remember who you are. Remember who you are. I remember an incident that took place. Now, I said this testimony a lot, and I was working at a group home, and the boy, the kid that was watching that day, and there was a group of them, and we had to go to the store. I believe they had to buy some clothes and stuff like that. But there was another staff that was with me working. So as we was getting ready to leave, the kid was being very disrespectful towards me, and he attempted to spit on me, and all those thoughts came back. You have to fight this familiar spirits, man. Just those ways, the old ways that, man, no one, I dare, he tried to spit on me. No, back in the days, no one can try me that way. No one would um, attempt this. No, that's not me. This is gonna be a problem. So, as the thoughts and my emotions, what's going on in my heart, and he attempted to spit on me. He was saying things he shouldn't be saying. Um, he was, just doing things just to provoke me to anger, just to provoke me to act out. I know that's what he wants. I know that's what he wants, and whatever spirit that was governing him, because that's what they wanted. They wanted me to act out because, hey, they wanted to embarrass me, to show, hey, this is how this person really is. So, no, back, and as I was in the car, and the kid was throwing paper balls at me and things like that, I was in the car and I was just setting my mind on the Lord. I was setting my mind on the Lord. And right now, I feel rage. Right now, I want to get angry. Right now, I'm offended. Right now, I'm embarrassed because he's doing that, and you got my staff, my coworker is with me, and she's trying to defend me. She's trying to tell them to stop. You don't want to stop. And the other kids was laughing because knowing that he's like you could say the big guy in the house, that they look at him as the bully, the guy, and they would be on his side because they're afraid to, hey, let me be a part of what he's doing, because I don't want him to feel like, because I don't want this kid to mess with me. So as that was going on, I was talking to him. I said, hey, listen, you know you need to sit down. You need to act right, or else we're not going to the store, or else, you know, just letting them know, hey, you got to act right. So he continued doing what he was doing. And when we got back, when we got back, when we got back, they went into the house. They went to the house, and as I was getting ready to leave, I know he was in the room, and the other boys was in the kitchen or something like that. And I went back in the house and hey, let them know, hey, I love y'all, and I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. And I went to the room and I said, hey, bro, I love you, man, and I'm out. And that happened. So when that happened, it took a lot for me to even approach this kid. It took me a lot to even go to the men's room, because I could just ignore this kid. I could have just, you know what, I don't want to even talk to him. I don't want nothing to do with him. No, I had to understand my job. I have to understand who I am. I cannot respond in the flesh. I cannot let nothing shake me. I cannot let nothing shake me, get me to respond. Now I'm looking, you know, crazy in their eyes. They want me to act up, and they don't want me to act in the flesh. Stuff like that, because that's what they used to. They used to that stuff. You got people that they came and work in that type of environment, and they got into a fight with the kids there. They got into a fight. Man, I saw some crazy stuff. I saw some crazy stuff. But I know who I was. I know who I was in Christ Jesus. I know, and I have to act like it. I have to act like it. I cannot respond in the flesh, because my life needs to glorify God. My decisions need to glorify God. I got to glorify God. We have to glorify God. We got to glorify God. It's not our job trying to fix the problem. It's not our job trying to defend ourselves. No, it's the Lord. It's the Lord that's is in control. So as I allow the Lord to have complete control over this problem, over this issue, I'm bringing those matters up to the Lord in God's presence. Hey, God, this is what I feel in my heart right now. Hey, I know people. I can go over there and I know people. I know people that can get this man right, this kid right. All this was going into my heart. All this was, he just don't know who I used to be. He just don't know what I could do to him right now. I could choke this kid to death. Just all this in my heart, all this that's what's going on in my heart, I had to bring it up to the Lord. I had to address those things into the Lord, because this is my job to stand at the door of my heart. I cannot allow my heart to be freely loose and act up and just let whatever comes out of my heart, because, as the word of God say, I believe it say, out of the heart, the mouth speaks, or something like that. So I cannot just let myself just be freely loose, to freely just act up. No. So I had to address those areas in my heart. So they changed me to a different house. They changed me to a different house. So I wasn't with the kid anymore. So a week goes by, maybe a month, I believe. I don't know how long since I seen the kid. So when I seen the kid had like a neck brace, a cast on his neck, and I think a cast on his arm or something like that, and a cast on his, I don't remember exactly, but I found out the kid got into a bad accident. He stole a car and he went into a canal, went into this lake. Loxahatchee is filled with gators. Gators. When I mean gators, it's filled with gators in Loxahatchee. So he lost control and the car went into the canal, went into the lake, and by the grace and mercy of God, they was able to get him. They were able to save him, and because of my prayers, because of me doing my job, because hey, the Lord could have killed this kid. The Lord could have killed this kid because how he treated me. He could have killed this kid. Could have took this kid life, and no, because hey, I know that he acted this way. I know that hey, this is how he responded. I could have cursed him. I could have, but Lord, I have to respond the way the Lord want me to respond. So, you know, I prayed for the kid. I prayed about me, myself, and how I felt, and how I felt towards the person, or what he done, and how this problem, this thing right here, how this problem made me feel. So, yeah, this is what happened. This is what happened because I didn't act up, because I didn't make a decision to act a fool. Um, when I seen the kid again, and we had a conversation, we talked, and one thing he said, John, I want to be a pastor one day. The kid that was wanted to attempt to spit on me, wanted to was throwing paper balls at me, was cursing me out, acting disrespectful. He's the one that came to me and said, John, I want to be a pastor one day. That's what I want to be. I want to be a pastor one day. And I share that to say that, hey, your life is speaking who you really are. There are people that people that just really, really want to see, well, are you really who you say you are? Are you really the men of God that you say you are, the woman of God that you say you are? Do you really love God? Because I've saw it. I've seen people in my own household. My mama was a Christian, and what my mama did, she threw me out. She gave me to DCF. She gave me to the government. Yeah, my auntie, my grandpa, they was Christian. They went to church. I've seen that, but they live life of fornication and live life of just doing whatever they want to do. Yeah, my dad was a pastor of the church. He smoked cigarettes. You know, I know that this is not true. Oh, there's something different about you. You don't use profanity. You don't act up. You don't curse us out. You patient with us. There's something different about you. Yeah, they will wonder like, whoa, and they will try to test you. Hey, I want to see who this person really about. Like, yeah. So I had to understand who I am, because it's not about me, it's about the Lord. Because if I act out of my flesh, if I act out what's on my heart, yes, I'm pretty much saying that, God, I want control over this matter. I want control over this right now, because how I'm feeling, I don't like it, and I want to act up. Because I'm not gonna let nobody try me. I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect me. I'm a grown man. Yeah, that could have been me responding in my flesh, but I had to understand. No, I have to understand. Lord, that's me walking in who I am and who God's telling me to be. Me saying, "Hey, go into the house and let that kid know, hey, I love you, and hey, I don't got nothing against you." Just me doing that I'm obeying what God is telling me to do. You better not act out. You better not act in your flesh right now. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to, we have to understand that. We have to understand that because we don't know what we are communicating when we do things outside of the Lord, when we respond in our flesh. Yeah. And if I responded in a negative way in my flesh, out of my emotions, they'll say, "Oh, I knew he was never a Christian." Christians don't act that way. Men of God don't act that way. Yeah, they don't act this way. I knew that it was in him. I knew it was in Mr. John to curse. I knew it was in Mr. John to act up. Oh, so we have to stand at the door of our heart because we don't know what's in our hearts. We don't know what we're capable to do. That's why we have to stand at the door of our heart. Yeah, yeah. So as Proverbs say, verse 23, chapter 4, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Yes, the issues of life. So we got to keep ourselves, we got to keep our heart in check. You know, obey immediately. If you're feeling your way, if this issue made you feel this way, if that's you feel lust, you feel pride rising up, you feel certain things in your heart trying to rise up, you immediately deal with that. You immediately go into the presence of God and address that. Don't let it sit. Don't let it sit. You see something that you shouldn't see at a store or grocery store, and that right there had an effect on you, and you may not know it, but because you seen this on that grocery store on this TV or screen TV, they probably showed a girl with bikini on and just half naked, and yes, something was sold. And you address that, hey, lust. You address, hey, how did that make you feel? When you seen that, what you felt at that moment. You address that. You address those issues. Men should always to pray so they don't faint. So we don't faint. We should always to pray. We should always to be vigilant and be aware, be always guarding ourselves, guarding our hearts, guarding our minds, always being, just being, I'm looking for a word, but just being at a place where we, know that, hey, it's my job to make sure that, hey, God, this is what is my heart. It cannot stay in my heart. You got to remove it, Lord. You got to remove it. So we have to understand that. We have to understand that. We have to understand that. So we have to stand at the door of our heart. So this is your brother John Love in Christ Jesus.